Schizophrenia involves a few neurotransmitters: dopamine, glutamate, and serotonin. Early on during research, they only had the dopamine theory. There was this hypothesis about dopamine, and that's all they focused on was dopamine, and they thought it was all about dopamine when it came to schizophrenia and what was happening in the brain. So the dopamine theory is basically saying that there is hyperactive D2 receptors in the mesolimbic dopamine pathway. And because of this, we are seeing positive symptoms. Remember, that's those delusions, hallucinations, disorganized speech, behavior, catatonia. Because of that, right, that's why we're seeing these positive symptoms. But then on the other hand, there's actually other roadmaps, other pathways in the dopamine theory that you have to be considerate of. In the mesocortical pathway, instead of hyperactive D2 receptors, there is actually a hypoactive dopamine level. And because dopamine level there is hypoactive, you're actually seeing the negative symptoms. You're getting the cognitive symptoms because in that particular pathway, there's not enough dopamine. And then as they did more studying, they learned about the nigrostriatal pathway, right? It's actually where dopamine and acetylcholine is supposed to be balancing. It's like kind of like a seesaw is how I learned it. But what happens is because of the research and all we focused on was dopamine, our first generation antipsychotics do what? So they are blocking your D2 receptors. And so because they're blocking the dopamine, right, those D2s, it's causing overactive acetylcholine. So the acetylcholine is becoming overactive, which is why we're seeing the EPS in our clients who are on these first generation antipsychotics. That's the higher risk. And so now when we go to further studies, we actually learned about the glutamate theory. Because of this happening to patients when they prescribe them with first generation antipsychotics, that's when they actually said, wait a minute, there's more involved than dopamine. Something else is going on here. It's not just dopamine.